What's up, YouTube? Adam Grover coming back at you with another video. I'm just gonna go over a couple things with, I guess, why I'm staying with the LS in this '67 Mustang that I got. Um, I don't have luck with these motors, not yet. I had one out of four now that stayed together. One out of four. That's not a overly dramatic number. That's just fact. Now, one of those motors that blew up was my fault. Um, Left it sitting on the floor, got stuff in it, and motor was wrapped up, but it sat on my floor for a little while and got crap in it. And long story short, it didn't last. So I take blame for the one. The other two, however, one was a junkyard motor. I bought it from a guy local. Um, he pulled it out of some front wheel drive, Equinox or Trailblazer or something. It's 5.3. Now that motor made good power. We ported the heads in the intake. It had the crappy Holly single plane. I bought it used. I bought the cam used. But we made just over 500 crank horsepower with that 5.3 naturally aspirated on an engine dyno. Put it in the car. Car was pretty fast. Made a couple test passes with it, and after that it locked up tight. So after about 3 or 4 passes, I think I was on my 5th pass, it locked up tight. The only pass I made with the draggy, and that was in the green Mustang that you guys see if you follow me. It went like 1120s with like a 1.860 foot and letting off of it. It was a real crappy pass, but showed potential to be fast. I think it had about a second left in it because this car, no doubt in my mind, leaving off the brake and all, was capable of doing every bit of a 1.460 foot on motor. So I believe that it was the capability of even a 1020, 10.0 ish pass was there. But, shoulda, coulda, woulda, if it would have stayed together. One of them kind of deals. But these things have what you would want as far as everything goes. I mean, they come with a pretty decent head from the factory. They come with 6-bolt main. I mean, it's really, for me, it's really upsetting that I can't keep one together. I don't know why that is. The one that stayed together that I had, I got the motor. Somebody they gapped the rings. I guess they put bearings in it, put square ports on it, put a turbo cam in it. I ran it on motor because I didn't have a turbo, and the thing it didn't perform the way I felt it should have. Ran okay, but it just wasn't. My standards are up here, and that motor was down here. And then I compare it in my head to a 302, and the 302 isn't much slower than a square port headed LS. A 302 with E7s to boot. So when I put it in that perspective, I have mixed feelings on them because these things they can make power. I've seen it. I've done it. And it's just an honest video. I'm not taking sides on what engine's better. It's just for me, it's very upsetting because it's like I wish one would stay together so I could see what it can do, and and I've seen the thing is the main thing is I've seen this many people, a handful of people, where they haven't been putting motors in their cars. Um, and I see a lot of people who put several motors a year in their cars, or they at least go through one a year. Um, and mainly the one guy I'm talking about is my buddy Matt. He one motor. I mean, yeah, it was all redone, but I mean, one motor in the car, and I mean, he drove it a lot, so he had good luck with it. It stayed together, did good, won a lot of races with it. But I mean, it's other than that, it's like all the other ones are. I've seen them all at least blow up one time. So for the most part, it's slim to none that you find somebody who hasn't blown one up in a season. So I'm hoping that this engine out of the 67 Mustang can be fixed. I still have to get it apart. However, I'm taking stuff apart now. Um, but this thing's got everything you could want, especially if you're a small block Ford guy, because they're very similar. Um, Evidently not as dependable, but and I'm going to probably have guys, well, they don't make 302 don't make the power LS does, so that's why they're more dependable because they're not going through what a LS would go through. And all these motors that I've had have been on motor. I haven't even gotten a chance to spray an LS. I'm sorry. The one that was slow, I sprayed, and I don't know what it went. But the ones that this one didn't get a chance to spray it. The one that was fresh, I drove it up the road a couple times and it felt really good. However, I didn't even get a chance to make a pass in that. That one was my fault. And the first one, I never got a chance to spray it. I never got it. So, 4 motors, I sprayed one of the 4. So I don't even know what it can do with a power adder myself. Now, I've played with them. My buddy had a 4.8 and a Cutlass. I played with the tune on that. That thing was a hokey disaster that somebody put together for some reason. The guy thought it was a good idea to put 30-pound Mustang injectors in it. The stock ones are 36-pound, so I don't know why he put 30-pound Ford style injectors in this thing, but we put the core on the dyno. It made somewhere of like 290. I tried to play with the air fuel a little bit. It dropped to like 280, thinking I was doing the right thing, and it was the exact opposite. I needed to go the other way. So I ended up maxing the fuel table out, and from 280 we went up to I think it gained like 60 horsepower. So I want to say it was like what would that be? 340. So 340 horse to the tire out of a 4.8 with a sloppy stage 2 cam. That was with micro squirt. Had a gold box in it. Stock motor otherwise, cam, springs, 4.8. So they can make power easy. And I'm hoping that this one, when I'm done with it, is decent and stays together. So I still gotta get it apart, see what's up with it. Hopefully I start having luck with these things. This is like an LS curse that I have for some reason. Once I figure them out, who knows, maybe it'll be worth it to put LSs and stuff, but I gotta get one to stay together. So I'm starting to accumulate LS motors, and a side of me don't like it. One side does, one side don't, because like I said, if it works out, it would be, I mean, I see why people like them. I do. But, and I don't hate them. I hate them because I just don't have luck with them. But I don't hate the idea of them because they could be a good motor if they last. Like it has the potential of being, I want to say, like budget, because they're not really budget. I have some stuff for LS here that, you know, like the micro skirt was given to me that's going into the 67 Mustang. Um, stuff like that. The intake, you can get some stuff pretty cheap. But to make a switch from one to another is expensive. That's why I'm really not trying to switch even from the LS to something else. I'm going to try to fix this motor. I have another 6.0 at the machine shop. The one that I told you about that was my fault that blew up. So that one, I'm hoping I can get it back soon. Whatever one's done first will end up into the car. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. But I haven't had the best luck with getting that motor back. So, but I'm not trying to put anybody down. It's just the truth's the truth. So I gotta figure that out. What's going on with that? However, they're a pretty easy motor to work on. You know, if you guys don't know or never mess with one, it's nothing crazy. It's a push rod engine. They're pretty simple. They make a lot of crap for them, obviously. And that's what I'm going to show you now is one of the cool things that they make. So I'll set you guys up. One of the cool things is this valve spring tool. Now, you might have saw a video I just put out about doing valve springs with a C-clamp. And the reason was, for that video, I had a different style spring tool. And it's the one that clamps around the head, and it has teeth. So when you squeeze it, it locks. When you squeeze the handle, it locks the tool. But that tool's stripped out, so when you squeeze the handle and it tries to lock, it pops and it loosens and does a bunch of fun stuff. So I said, screw it, I just want these apart so I can get the heads to my dad. And then I ordered this. I think I ordered this the same day that I actually did the heads. So it's very simple. I'll show you guys how it works, and then I'll show you what it consists of and go through it. If you're an LS guy, you guys don't really have to watch this video, but I'm using a wrench. Probably use a long 13mm socket. However, I'm just doing it the long way. Right now I'm compressing the springs. This thing's worth its weight in gold. It's like $30. As you can see, I got the head sideways. I don't have it laying down flat. This place right now is a disaster, this garage. And my bench is full of crap. So I got rid of the 55, and when I did that, it, you know. So now, just going to tap on this as I push on the valve. There's one, there's two. That easy. I've never had springs come apart so easy in my entire life. Now the reason I'm taking the springs off of these heads are because these springs match the camshaft that is in this engine. And I'm not buying new springs to put on the other heads. That's just a waste of money when these are still good. And these are a double or a dual spring. For how easy it is, it might seem like it's a little time consuming, but I'm not really under any time restraints here, so there's no need to rush. So once you get it loose, just spin it sideways, get the spring out, like so. Have shims on them, so I want to get the shims out. That's pretty much it. These are the double spring I was talking about. So these are good valve springs, so putting those on the other heads that I have, which I'll be showing you guys in the near future, hopefully, as long as everything goes right. I gotta clean all this stuff up. All right. I didn't even tighten this thing up. It's just hand tight. So you don't have to go crazy when you use it, thinking that you gotta lock it down. However, it took me a little bit to play with it to get it right. So if you watch this video, this will save you a little bit of time. Alright, so this is what we got here. Fairly simple design. It's basically the spring compressor. That's all it is. It's got a beveled edge on it. Now this will go against the valve spring side, this beveled edge, flat side. I mean, you could probably use it either way, but that beveled edge is going to help lock it onto the spring. This is angled, as you can see. Hold it straight, bolt's angled. So this goes between your valve springs. Between the valves, like that. Okay. This has to be angled back. If you flip it the other way, it's angled away, so it'll never hit the valve spring. It was one of the things that I did. And I put it on. I was like, oh, got that backwards. So noticed it right away. So it's just something to save you guys 2 minutes. But when you're trying to do something or get something done, sometimes it's nice just to know about it. Because it didn't come with instructions. And for the price, I mean, 30 bucks, you know. It comes with this spacer. It's aluminum. And this faces that way toward the valves. This cutout goes toward the valve. Because there's your pedestal. Or, yeah, your pedestals for your valve covers to bolt to. Alright. So, that's what that notch is for. And then the tool sits over, actually sits over that pedestal for the valve cover. This thing works so easy. It's actually enjoyable to take valve springs off. Never thought I would say that in my life. Very simple. You could probably make one of these things at home if you got some crap laying around. However, for the $30 it costs, it's really not even worth going out and making some unless you're just bored. I really hope whoever made that got rich off of it, because they're making people's life that much easier. They deserve it. Like, I'm actually impressed with that whole design. I don't know if what other engines you can use it on, because the holes aren't really that big for, you know, but probably modify this and make it work on other engines, or other heads rather. This is the only part that's kind of tedious, would be the word I'm looking for. I don't know if I have my ratchet wrench in here or not. Of course not. Must be in my wagon. This might work. Try that, I guess. It does come with an extra bolt. Somewhere I have the box. Might be in my drawer. An extra nut. Drop that. There we go. So I think you guys get the idea. Relatively easy, quick. Probably getting bored watching me take valve springs off. And on to the next one. It's that easy. This way you guys get to see how long it takes you to go from one to the next. That's it. It's easy as that. on the next one. Hands are getting oily. Fingers are slippery. Give me a hard time trying to get that on there. Just like that. Set up all over again. Hung up. That might be the problem. I think the tool might be caught on the spring. Yep. Wasn't flush. Alright, now we're flush. There we go. Alright. No cuts, no edits. Nothing to make me look perfect like I'm some pro. Just an average guy in the garage. That's something you guys can look out for. Make sure that it's sitting correctly before you go to town. Whew. Being bent over like that, getting to my back. Oh, guys, there you have it. That's one of the cool things that they got for the LS motors. So if you don't have that tool, I highly recommend getting it. And thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you like this stuff. I'll be doing more LS stuff, so if you guys want to learn with me and grow together. So, who knows, maybe I'll become a fan. Find out, right? See what happens. So, taking you guys along with me for this LS journey. Maybe it'll be my good luck charm. Maybe this one will live because you guys will see it. Guess we'll find out. Alright, guys. I'm going to finish getting this head torn apart and go inside and try to get some sleep because it is 3:12 in the morning right now. I have work tomorrow. So, thanks again for watching. Like and subscribe if you're into this type of stuff. If you haven't already, for the ones that have, thank you. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.